Hi guys, welcome back to Creatively Crafted Life. My name is Melanie and I'm getting close. As I said last time, I think I'm almost there with the paper, at least a 12 by 12 paper. So in front of me I have about, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different collections, if you will. So let's take a look and see what's what and see if we're going to keep them together or if we're going to break them up and move them into my regular stash. Okay, so the first bag is Dear LIzzy paper from She's Magic, and let's just have a quick peek at what is all in here. I don't think I'm going to keep this together. I have a sneaking suspicion I am going to break this apart and put it in my stash. We'll probably make some page kits, I'm thinking. But we'll just see how this plays out. If there's anything that I don't really care for, we'll purge. But so far, at least one of the sides I like. Got all sorts of, a little bit of everything in this one. That's pretty. Okay, so let me put some page kits together and I will be right back to show you what I paired up. I used all the cardstock in that stack plus a few extra items from my stash to make these kits. So we've got this floral, which I paired with an Echo Park dots and stripes, and then I paired it with this stripe from the same She's Magic. And then I thought the ticket sheet would go really well with this. The back side of that is red, which would also go really well. So both work. So I thought that was a good fit. The next one features this small floral, which I paired with a Doodlebug dot. And from the same She's Magic, this geometric print. For this one, this, I don't know what you want to call it. It's like a square, 4 square dots. Let's call it that. I paired with this paper airplane and I pulled in from Echo Park this dots and stripe yellow gingham. It's a little bit of a softer color than this, but I think it will work okay. And then this is also from She's Magic, that dot. And then I also paired the ticket, the second ticket sheet with this. The backside doesn't work with this one so much, but I liked with the airplanes or with the paper planes and the idea of tickets and stuff, and it's pretty generic so it can go any direction. And then that is what the other side looks. So even this will work together and that will work together, so I can mix and match. With that floral, I paired it with the geometric from the same collection, and then that ruled paper as a background. It does have the green on the back side, and then this has the water bottles and this green. I don't know that I would necessarily use the bottles or this, but the back side of this would work with this front sheet as well. Speaking of that foliage paper, I paired that with the yellow geometric that came with this collection, and then this tone-on-tone green dot. So there's a lot of green going on, but I think that would be nice, especially for like outdoor pictures or something like that. The little birds I paired with this triangle geometric and that multicolored stripe, and then the opposite sides I've got the cut aparts and the same. So basically it's the same 2 sheets of paper and the cut aparts. There's that floral again, which I paired with the blue dot from the collection, and then the what is it, like a magenta maybe, color pink on the back side. So some mix and match possibilities there as well. And then the final kit is that floral again, which I paired with the tone-on-tone green random dot and that yellow geometric. Okay, so these are just going to go in with my page kits, which is a whole other story because I've made so many in the last little while. I've run out of room there too, so we may have to weed through them at some point, but not right now. Let's move on to the next bag, aka collection. Okay, so the next bit that we're looking at is from One Canoe Two. It's the Twilight paper pad, And I have some clips, the stickers, the wood buttons, some wood veneer, and some foiled stickers. Now, just looking at what I have a sneaking suspicion that I am going to disband this, but let me pull apart this paper pad and see what I've got, and then I'll come back and show you what I came up with. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, this is a very hard paper pad to make kits out of, just using the paper pad. So I'm glad that I am disbanding it. That just kind of reinforces it that I probably wouldn't use it all together. So I did have this specialty watercolor resist paper, and so I'm gonna add this to my specialty paper section. I also have some really large prints like these two, or these kind of like painted sceneries. So these are going to go in my filler page section. And then this blue leaf, this plaid, this 2 sheets of this X, and then these pink, light pink foiled are just going to go in my regular stash, you know, in respective colors. This marble foiled sheet, I have 2 of them. I'm going to trim down to 4 by 6, and that will just go in with my cards making supplies along with this foiled sheet as well. Okay, so let me show you what kits I put together. So I took this very large floral and I paired it with Echo Park Winter Blast Stripe. So I like the 2 of those together. And then I also had from Trinity Paper Surf and Swim this blue, which I think is very similar to the blue in here. This is a little more distressed, whereas this is a little more clean, but I probably would use this in small amounts or for a matte, in which case it doesn't bother me that it's kind of got that distressed look. And then I also did pair it with one of those foiled, it's the Houndstooth. Again, probably would use this in small quantities. And then I added this cut apart with this section. The next kit features this floral, which I paired with a Happy Birthday Echo Park. I was picking up on the coral red in the centers. And I also paired it with this Adorn It Nested Owl Coral. So this is a little more pinky than this one, and there are both of those colors in there. And I wouldn't necessarily use these 2 patterns together, but independently, I think I can make it work. And then I paired that with 2 cut aparts and this very loose grid slash plaid. So let's just separate those 2 colors because it's a little bit distracting. And the cut aparts. Okay, then we have the moth page, I guess. And I paired that with another Happy Birthday paper from Echo Park. This is from, it just says Happy Birthday. This was the female version or equivalent. I like this because that kind of pinky coral colors in here. I put in this foiled pink, light pink dot. This was from the paper pad. And I went with the bug theme. I went there. So I got the lightning bugs and these bugs. I like the black or the darkness with this. Would I necessarily use this sheet as is? Maybe, maybe not. I could see me cutting these out as embellishments, but I do have options. And then I paired it with this cut apart, and I specifically paired it with this one because of the butterfly or moth, and then, you know, some of these other images. So that would be another kit. Back to that big floral. This time I paired it with this geometric, and I paired it also with this foiled kind of leaf border. I'm not too sure about this one, but it is what it is at this point. We'll see. Who knows? Maybe in a couple years when I go through my stuff all over again, I'll change my mind. So this was the only kind of coral paper that came in the paper pad. I did pair it with this one. And I also paired it with this Firefly paper. Again, I'm just playing off the darker colors in here. Again, is this one my favorite? Not so much, but I think it might make a fun layout. And of course I can always pull from my stash if I need to. And then there was this floral, which I paired with this dark blue, which is not really in here, but I like the darkness in contrast to this, and there is like the little black center, so I thought, okay, we'll make that work. And the reason why I wanted the contrast in is because I paired it with this paper, which is kind of, you know, a bunch of ovals. And I needed something to break this up a little bit. Could I have grabbed a coral? Probably, but I was trying to use what I had in the paper pad. So that is it. These are just gonna go in that same stack of everyday embellishments that I haven't gone through yet. It's getting quite large. And I think I talked about everything else. So let's move on to the next one. Okay, so the next bag I had was the Simple Stories Bliss collection kit. It came with chipboard and some ephemera. It has like umbrellas, flowers, that kind of thing. So to me it kind of has a springy feel to it, but it could be every day. So let's just look at what the collection comes with. We've got a wood grain with the floral on the bottom, and then this floral. We've got some butterflies and a small floral. That seemed kind of, what is it, like a petunia or something maybe, and a stripe. We got some cut aparts, some more cut aparts, and a pink, and then we've got the sticker sheet. Okay, so I don't think I'm going to keep this together. I guess the question is, do I want to make any kits out of this? I'm really not feeling much of this, to be honest. That's probably the closest. I don't mind that and that together. I think the scales are just off with this, right? Like, these circles are roughly the same size of these flowers, so it just looks, I don't know. It would have been better if the circles were smaller. And then the other side are the cut aparts, which would work, but and I like the butterflies. I probably would trim them out, I think, as embellishments maybe. I don't know. And then the cut aparts. I really like this background. I think that's quite pretty. And I would probably, would I even pair that together? No, see, I wouldn't pair any of this together. Okay, so I'm just going to disband that. This is just going to go in purple. This is going to go in backgrounds, pink, yellow, and I'm going to do this one as a kit starter. And what would I do with these ones? Maybe I will pair these together. And this pink. And just call this one a kit? No, I don't like that. What about this? Let me go see if I can pull something from my stash to flesh this one out a little bit. Okay, so here's what I pulled from my stash. I have a Stampin' Up! Paper. It's a little bit brighter of a coral than this, but I think it still works okay. It's got a little small plus signs on it. I have this purple, which I don't remember where this came from. I think it's a pretty good match for the purple down here. I don't know that the pattern is necessarily the best with the overall feel. It's got a little bit more of a vintagey vibe pattern to it, but I probably would use this in small amounts, and so you wouldn't even see the overall pattern, right, if I used it as a mat. So I'm going to leave it in. It's an 8.5 by 11 sheet. And then from the Atwell collection from Fancy Pants, I have this mint green, which again is not a bang on match, but I think it's close enough. And so between those three, the cut aparts, and this background kind of paper, I think we're going to call that one a kit. I'm tempted to throw this butterfly one in there too. Let's do that. Like I said, I probably would use that for embellishments. And then these three are just going to go in my regular stash. This will be a kit starter, and this will go in pink. Stickers, I think I'm going to throw this in the spring section, and these I will probably either transfer to my die cut sticker binder or throw in the seasonal section. I have to see if I might throw this in the seasonal and this in the die cut sticker binder. I don't know, I'm rambling. I think it's time to quit for the night, even though I'm not done. So let me do that and I will be back tomorrow to finish this one up. Okay, next up is Farmhouse Market, and I'm not sure where I am going to put this one, to be honest, because I do kind of have a farm theme, but I do have a farm theme going. I don't know if this is where I would naturally think of that, but when you look at some of these icons and the words like vintage farmhouse, and you've got the windmill, you know, maybe? I don't know. So I've got the chipboard, ephemera, and puffy stickers, and we've got some really pretty paper, and of course this is by Cartabella, so it's that beautiful kind of textured paper. We have pretty floral, cut aparts, pink, little baskets with flowers in them, plaid, another painted floral, some borders, wreaths, wood grain, gingham. These tags make really great cards. I had this part of this in a SAT kit, so I have used this collection before, which is why I think I haven't felt compelled to go into it so much, but it is pretty. Small floral, and then those library card pockets. We've got the farmhouse, green, some some bins, like from a hardware store or something like that. Text, shiplap with floral, and some embroidery hoops. Florals, and a gingham, and then the stickers. Okay, so I don't think this has the same feel as what I have in my farm theme. It's mostly florals that I'm gravitating towards, and in like this pretty soft pink color. So I think I am just going to put this in my everyday kind of collection, or in my everyday section. I am going to keep these papers together, so I'll put them in a record sleeve and tuck that in my everyday, and then this stuff is just going to go in my everyday pile of ephemera that is growing heaps and bounds. You'll be amazed at how much stuff is in that pile when I get to it. So if that's something you are interested in seeing, be sure to subscribe and click the notification bell, because it will be coming. And the next collection that I want to talk about is Flower Market, also by Cartabella, and I have the kit, but I also have from a paper pad, and you can tell I've taken it out of the paper pad. I just haven't really done anything with it. So definitely the kit is the much nicer, right? Because it's that Cartabella paper. And if you look at this one, it's got a real floral vibe again. I could put this in a summer or spring. And let's see what the stickers are like. It does kind of have a springy vibe to it, doesn't it? But I could also put it in every day, which is where I think this is going to go. So every day for this in a sleeve, this is going in with my everyday embellishments. And then I'm going to look through this and see if we can make any page kits. Looking through this kit, I totally changed my mind. So there wasn't enough, what do you call it? There wasn't enough unmulticolored, not multicolored papers to make kits the way that I like to, so we're not going to do that. Instead, what I did is I took all the cut aparts and those embroidery hoops and all of these kind of like overtly farm market or flower market papers. I probably would never use these for scrapbook layout, and if I did, I have these in that other collection, so I still have them there anyways. Instead, what I'm going to do with these is these are going to go in with my card making supplies, because I could totally see me making some cards out of these. So that's what I'm going to do with that. And then the florals, I could make kits out of them if I went to my stash and picked out some colors, but to be honest, I'm just not in the mood for it right now. So these are just going to go in my kit starter section, and then the 2 wood grain of course will go in with my wood grain. So that is going to take care of this part of that collection. So now I have 1 more bag left to go through. So let me go pull that out. So this is the contents of the last bag that I want to go through today. A lot of this is from Simple Stories I Am collection, and I specifically bought this to do an I Am project binder where I talk about different things about me specifically, and I haven't worked on that in a while, so maybe going through this will encourage me to pull it out and maybe do a few more stories in there. I do have some other items in here that I've tossed in because I think it will supplement that project. So for instance, I have some Pink Fresh, kind of more motivational kind of ephemera pieces. So that's what that is. I have the I Am ephemera. Got I Am stickers, another sticker sheet. I've got the I Am wood veneer. Now, the Reset Girl, I think I threw it in here because there are a lot of similar colors, but this is a little more retro. So I think I'm going to pull this out and put that more with my other Reset Girl stuff. These are some I Am snap pages. I am doing it in a 6x8 album, so I will want to hold on to those. I've got some washi tape. What else do we got here? I Am clear stickers. More pocket cards. Here's another pocket card that was probably from a cut apart. This is also from I Am. I think this was the second option on it. Maybe that's why I threw the Reset Girl stuff in here, because this has more of the same colors as the Reset Girl now that I look at it. No, I think I'm going to keep these. I think I'm going to keep these separate. Yeah. Okay, so that's Reset Girl. We've already decided we're pulling that apart. I've got chipboard from I Am. These are interactive elements, so tags and stuff like that. More chipboard. I also threw in Live in Color, which I guess kind of has a similar vibe, but I think I would rather pull that out and use that for something different. Yeah. So I'm going to pull Live in Color out. I think that's from Live in Color. This is Live in Color, yeah, or Life in Color. Yeah, I think that's what it is. I have scrap piece of paper, some 6x8 papers, which I'm going to hold on to again because I'm doing a 6x8 album. These go more with the Life in Color, I think. I must have pulled the cardstock for the project. These are stickers for that. And then we've got the I Am collection kit. I Am 12x12 stickers. What else do we got here? More stickers and more cardstock. Okay, so let's put the I Am stuff aside for a second and let's see what we're going to do with this. Is this enough to actually do like a mini album or something out of it? There might be enough to do like a, what do you call it, one of those flip books. And I have everything pulled out, so I think I am just going to hold on to this as is. I'm going to tuck this in a bag and put it in with my projects in my Razzcog. I'm not entirely sure what I want to do with this, but I know I have other Reset Girl printables, so I think I'm just going to stick it with that for now. When I get to tackling that component, I can decide if I want to do something different. So I thought I'd just grab the binder. I'll just do a really quick peek through it. Ironically, I actually haven't used this collection too much in here, and I don't have a ton done. So this was using the I Am collection, and then this was a Pink Fresh, and this was a My Mind's Eye, I believe, and this was a Simple Stories. This was from some scraps, and this was from an old piece of cardstock I had in my stash that I wanted to include. And I wonder why I put that in here. Yeah, I'm not sure why I put that in there because this doesn't really fit the theme, but we'll leave it in there for now. So let's take a look at what we've got here. We've got just some pages, and I think I'm just going to stick them in this binder just so I remember that I have them. There's some fun little insert different size pages, etc., and an envelope. So let me stick those in here and then we'll talk about what's left. Okay, so I've got the cardstock, 6x8 cardstock, the chipboard I'm going to leave as is. All the pocket cards I put in one of these iris bins. I like using iris bins for pocket cards if I'm not going to store them with my other bins. I also like them for any sort of bulky embellishments, which is where I would normally put these. But to be honest, I'm all out of bins. So I'm just going to leave that in the package as is. Now, as far as embellishments go, you know I've been doing page protectors and using them to adhere stickers, ephemera and stuff too, and putting them in binders. For this particular thing, I'd rather keep the ephemera together, and so what I did was I just created a pocket that I could tuck the pages in, and the only reason why I felt this was necessary is because I don't adhere these down like completely, so they do pop up a little bit, and when things get jostled, they can get, you know, smushed and crumpled. But I put all the sticker sheets, I just left them because they are paper thin, I left them on their backing and just adhered them directly in. And then this way I can easily flip through everything that I have when I'm working on this project, and then when I'm not, I can just tuck them back into this envelope. And all I did to make this envelope was just used, you know, all that paper that I was purging. I just grabbed 2 sheets from there. I cut it to 10 inches wide. This one is 12 inches and this is 10, and I just adhered some tape. Is this like a long-term, you know, would this be a solution I would use long-term for you know, stuff that I'm accessing every day? Probably not. I mean, it is cardstock, but for this intents and purposes, I think this will work quite well, and it just cuts down on having all those packages in here. So this is going to go in a bag, and if there's still room in that Razzcog cart, which I'm thinking is getting pretty full, and that's a whole other project for another day, I will throw that in there, and that's kind of where I'm amassing all the different projects that I have plans for, right? Either started or I know I want to do something with them. So I think that's where I'm going to leave this one for today. I don't think I have too much else other than creative memories as far as 12 by 12 cardstock goes. Of course, I say that. Who knows? I may come across something as I work my way through the rest of the stuff. And I think the next video, I'm either going to make those page kits I promised for Auburn Lane from the Auburn Lane paper pad, or I might start tackling those embellishments. We'll see what I feel up to. Be sure to subscribe, click the notification bell if you're interested in following along, and happy organizing.